Baby, it is hot here in Fiji today. And I am ready to talk about the heat that is coming
What the hell did we watch? What the hell did we watch?
We watched some television goodness is what we watched. But, oh, I can't wait to talk about it. But hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know let's get some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking on some water because, baby, it's hot. It's hot here, and I need hydration to, because it's important. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it straight out of my cup mug. Panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. And you can get your cup mug at Lana G's Creations at Etsy.com, where the link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the US, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. So get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch. And if you haven't checked out our Etsy shop lately, you should, because we have new things on there just for you. So check it out. Period.
Woo. And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Currently, I have a Diet Coke with lime because I was out of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Lime is not bad. I do prefer lemon in my Diet Coke. I needed a little bit of energy, a little bit of pick me up, because this episode shot me to the ground. This whole situation is a lot.
Woo! And I'm here for it. I really am here for it. So I'm excited. But, before we get into it, because we got a lot to talk about, and I can't wait to talk about it. But before we get into it, if you are a fan of Love Island and you thought this episode was hot, and you want to keep getting some great opinions on it, hit the subscribe button here and hit the notification bell, because we are going to be bringing you Love Island content every time they film. We shoot. That's what we're doing. That's our goal. That is our goal. Every time they put out an episode, we shoot the next day. So if you want some very up-to-date content about Love Island, this is the place for you. So hit here. We got Big Brother coming up. We got other shows. We're doing the GOAT. We got other shows coming up. So check that out. And this is all things TV, not just reality TV, because we got some more TV things that we are planning to talk about in the very, very near future. So do that. We also have 3 other channels that you can subscribe to. So go to our description, hit our link tree. All of those links to all of our channels are in there. You can click there, all of the links there. Also, all of our audio podcast stations are there as well. So click on all of those things. Follow us on all of those platforms. We appreciate you. You can get join our membership to get early access to a lot of content across all 4 channels and exclusive content across all 4 channels. So do that. Check us out. We are here to give you the goods. And the more you support us, the better our content gets. So do all of that. And we appreciate you very, very much.
Yes.
Now, Logan, we got to dive into this Love Island because
I was gonna say, where do you want to start?
Okay, because I have to start back last week from yesterday, from what we were talking about on this podcast, because we had our own predictions, we had our own thoughts, we had things that we just knew was going to happen. And we were like, oh, yep, this is happening. And this is happening.
Yep.
And we just know it because it just looked like this is the way it's going to go. And we had like so many scenarios how it could go down depending on who picked who and what, baby.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think the person that got dumped was going to get dumped.
Nope.
Going into the episode.
Going
now
into
about,
it.
Now about 10 minutes in. Yeah, I was going to say about 10 minutes.
Ooh. Midway. And see, midway in, I was like, this ain't going to go the way I thought it was going to go. But, okay. Let's go back to, let's start with the original couples because we got to let them know who our original couples were.
Yes.
Well, when the episode started, here were our couples. So, our first couple was Janae and Coy.
Yep.
Next couple was Serena and Cordell. The next couple was Kayla and Aaron. The next couple was Hannah and Kendall. And then the last couple was Liv and Rob. And which we left our singles to be Connor, Hakeem, and Leah. So we're there. Great. That's where we are. And everybody's still kind of reeling from the new couples, and people are still trying to figure each other out. We had special moment dates yesterday happening between Rob and Leah. He came up with this whole steal signal. So every time he walked by and did this, Leah knew to go beat him somewhere. And they had their little make out moments and cute moments. And I was like, that's so adorable. That's so cute. Go tell Liv that. Like, just go tell Liv. I can't. I feel like your friend. Like, literally just go to, like, you're one day in this new couple and you're like bringing both of them avocado toast every morning for breakfast. And you're trying to do, I want to pursue this with you, Liv. I want to see what this is with you, Liv. But I also know that Leah is where I want to be. Like, that's not how this works, man. Like, I was like, just tell Liv, sit her down and be like, hey, as much as I appreciate you picking me and I appreciate you trying to get to know me, I really just want to be with Leah right now. I really enjoy Leah's time. I really want to pursue this with Leah at this moment. So that would have opened the door for Liv to be like, okay, cool. Let me go explore and talk to more people and, see what it is. That's all you have to do. Just I like Rob. Don't get me wrong. I like Rob. And I like Rob and Leah together. I think they're adorable together. But I just wish he would have told Liv to give her the heads up, like, hey, this ain't working.
Communication barriers are really the difficulty with, I think, most of the couples that had difficulties in this episode. Could we see that with, obviously, the situation with Liv and Rob and Leah? We now see that with kind of the other big it's not even the other one. One of the other big situations of this episode, which is Hannah and her situation with both Hakeem and Kendall. And where we start the episode is with a really lovely chat between Hannah and Hakeem.
Yes.
Hannah felt good about it, but Kendall is worried. And as they go through the episode, drink every time Hannah says 50-50 in this episode.
Jesus
That's
Christ,
today's drinking game. I would be out of everything, every liquid in my house.
Liquid in my house. Absolutely. She said so many times.
Yeah, so she is still going back and forth. She's saying that Kendall is her number one, but she's still 50-50. But Kendall's her number one, but I promise you, she's still 50-50.
I don't understand how you're 50-50 and somebody is your number one, because if they're not my number one, then they have top priority. That means it's not 50-50, it's like 70-40.
All I needed her to do was not use the term 50-50
Right.
and say, hey, Kendall is my first pick. That is who I'm in a couple with currently. So I am going to prioritize that right now because I do like him. But
I'm open to getting to know
I'm
you.
open. Exactly. That's all she needed to say.
It's like people don't know how to communicate anymore with people.
Nope.
We're so worried about hurting somebody's feelings that we can't just be honest with how I'm feeling. Like, if I'm feeling like, hey, Logan is the person who I really want to be with, but I'm open to talking to Mark.
David.
Mark's over here. David's here. Want to talk to David.
I was going to say, let's just make it David.
Yeah. Want to talk to David because I'm open to David. David's good. You know, he's fun. I have a good conversation with him. But Logan is my top priority right now. So it won't hurt me at all or hurt them at all to say, Logan, you're still my number one. I'm exploring my options. You explore your options as well. I want you to do that. But just know, reassuring, you're my number one. Then I go to David, I'm like, hey, Logan is my number one, but I'm open to talking to you and maybe you changing my mind, because it's possible for that to happen. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody can say, she didn't say this, or they didn't say that, or we didn't say this. Nobody can say that because you are honest with how you're feeling. Stop saying 50-50, because it's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. And it just, we will see later on in this episode that 50-50 came back to bite her in the butt. Like, stop saying 50-50. But we also got to see a conversation with Janae, who goes to pull Connor for the first time. And like, Connor has been pulling people or just ending up in a conversation with people. Like, I think his conversation with Serena just happened to happen because he was sitting there and she was sitting there, and the person who was sitting there actually left. So they were talking. So they ended up talking. But nobody really pulled Connor. He was doing the pulling. So Connor was very excited and very happy that Janae actually went and pulled him for a chat. And the way this man lit up at the fact that Janae pulled him, I was like, oh. And okay, and this is what I'm going to say. Y'all, this was a moment, and I don't know if people realize this, but I know Black women realize this. Mm-hmm. This is the moment where that's so real in society, that white men are attracted to Black women. They just scared to approach Black women. And so they don't do it. Yeah. And so Black women have to go and approach them and be like, a lot of them. Some of them are bold. Some of them are bold. Some white men are bold. They're just going to approach them if they want to. But some of them are not. And they're very scared, but they're very open to doing that.
Oh, yeah.
They just need that nudge to actually do it. And so that was what happens. And a lot of Black women who date white men usually have to talk to them first because they're scared to approach them, because they don't think, oh, she probably don't like white men. She probably don't. And that's the same thing running through Black women. They're like, he probably don't like Black women, so I don't even really go and approach him. So y'all just not talking to each other, realizing that y'all both attracted each other. So when Janae pulled him, I think he was like, oh, she actually finds me attractive. She actually wants to talk to me. That's wild, and that's new, because no Black woman probably has ever did that. And so he was his whole face lit up, his whole demeanor, like he was going for Kayla so hard in the first episode. In yesterday's episode, he was like, his eggs were all in Kayla's basket. He wanted Kayla. That was it. He wanted to talk to Kayla, and Kayla was like, I like him, but I like Aaron more.
Yeah.
He doesn't make me giddy. He's
And
very
she
mature.
also tells Aaron that in this
Yes, he told
episode.
Aaron everything. And that was what
She
I was
told
like,
everyone everything, and I was like, all right, Miss Kaylor, I appreciate that Kaylor is being so open with things. My worry with Kaylor then, to go on a Kaylor and Aaron tangent for just a second, my concern with this couple is that Kaylor is being so open and like being so honest with Aaron. But then we hear Aaron talking to the guys being like, I guess I'll believe it, but I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And I understand where Aaron's coming from for sure. I do hope that, and we'll talk about it later, what happened at the recoupling gives him a little bit more reassurance. Because she could have picked Connor.
She could have.
Connor was there. Connor was up for the picking until the damn very end. But Connor was there for the picking, and Kaylor picked Aaron. So I'm hoping that will give Aaron the reassurance that he needs. Also, we're talking about all this shit. It's 4 days in. Like
4 days. 4.
It feels like we are on week 4. And so the front runner couple that has been solid since day 1 just broke up. Like, that's what it feels like for me coming out of this episode. But I'm hoping that gives Aaron the reassurance, because I really loved this chat. The first chat that we got with Janae and Connor.
Yes. It was very like, oh, you like that? Oh, I like this. Oh, we got these.
When Janae said, I read the dictionary.
And at first, I know that probably seems weird to people, but I get it. I've done it because you want to learn new words that you've never heard before. And that's the best way to do it, is to read the dictionary, know the meaning, expand your vocabulary.
Right.
If you just like reading, which I do love reading, you just, because I've read books I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that word means. Time to go to the dictionary.
Right. Yeah.
It's just learning, and so good. It's so good to learn. So when she was like, I read the dictionary, I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, wow. He probably never thought about that. Never thought to do something like that, because why?
But I said in our episode yesterday, I needed to see more of Connor, because I was like, there has to be something else underneath. And I got almost everything I was asking for from yesterday's episode. Like, I really said, I need to see more Connor. I need to see more Jeanette. And hey, guess what? We saw more of both of them. I needed to see more Serena and Cordell. And hey, guess what? We also saw them.
We'll talk about Cordell, because baby, he jumped in a lot of people's minds. He jumped up way up in a lot of people's minds.
I liked Cordell. After this episode, I'm like, Cordell's up there again for me now. Yeah. I'm like, all right, Cordell.
Yeah. So the conversation with Janae and Connor was really good conversation. They realized they got a lot of stuff in common. They realized that they have a lot of stuff that they different, but it's complementary to each other. It's like, but that works for me. Yeah, it was a good conversation. And Janae left that conversation feeling good about Connor. Like, I feel like a really nice conversation. And Connor left that conversation smitten with Janae.
On top of the moon, like, could not be happier.
He was like, Kaylor who?
Literally.
He literally left that conversation and was like, this girl, he drink every time he said, she pulled me for a chat. She pulled me for a chat. Like,
that too.
He was so happy to get pulled for a chat from her. He was just like, and he couldn't stop telling how beautiful she was. He was like, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. He was stunned. Like, he was stunned she pulled him, and he was so excited and so happy. He was like, oh my God, she pulled me. Like, but she pulled me.
Right.
She came to me and asked me if I wanted to chat. Like, this beautiful, stunning, gorgeous goddess pulled me.
Yeah.
it was wild. Like he said he was set to Janae from that moment on. And so Janae, of course, was still very honest with Connor and with Coy, but she really wanted to talk to Coy. So she went to talk to Coy. She pulled Coy to go talk. And she was like, I feel like I have to initiate every conversation we have.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. And it was in this moment I was like, oop, uh-oh.
Was this the chat they had after the game?
This was before the game.
Was it before? Okay.
This was before the game because the chat.
Janae said I've had to initiate conversations with Coy. I think like 5 times. Drink every time. Janae said she had to initiate a conversation with Coy. Like that's really what it was.
And it was the truth because like even when that whole day, that the last night and the whole day when they got in bed, Coy was like, how you doing? I feel like I hadn't talked to you all day. Janae was like, I've been here. What do you mean?
Right.
And
it's like Love Island is such an interesting experiment, and that's why I love watching it, because like it's so interesting to see so many different communication perspectives happening all together at once. Where like honestly, my perspective of the Coy and Janae relationship is that Coy already had gotten comfortable. He was like, Janae is locked in. That's it. And that was not the case.
And I mean, he made it like she wouldn't do that to me. He said that to the boys. He was like, she wouldn't do that to me. She wouldn't do nothing like that to me. So I think we good. And they hyping him up like, yeah, I think you good, man. Because like Janae is solid. She's solid with you. Which I'm like, but you still have to make an effort. And that
you still have to put in the work to make sure that she is solid. Assumption, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Like, that's what it is. So it's like, you can't just assume Janae is locked in. You need to be consistently making sure, like, cool, go work out. Cool, go tan. Cool, go lay by the pool. Whatever. But, like, make sure you're checking in with the person you're coupled with. Unless y'all really hate each other. And then, like, don't do that. But
it's so interesting because like I feel like a few of them have that problem of just letting things happen. Like Coy would just let it happen. He would let her come up to him. He would Cordell. He doesn't go make dinners. Aaron, same thing. Don't do
Rob.
Kendall, all of them. They just
except for Connor.
Connor and Hakeem was on their game, and they was pulling.
Well, obviously, because they were the bombshells, and they were the most at risk of going. So yeah.
But I just like, even though if you're the OG, you still ain't immune from going home, and you have to make sure that the person you're with knows. I got you. Like Coy ain't made her breakfast. Coy ain't try to bring her no cup of coffee. Coy ain't go pull her away from anybody. She's sitting there talking to the girls. He could have pulled her away and just talked to them like, I just want to hold you today. I just want to talk to you today.
From the moment Coy got picked by 3 women.
Yep, he was the man.
And then from the moment the first coupling happened, he got comfortable and he got lazy.
Yep.
And that ultimately is kind of the reason why, spoiler if he gets dumped. If you haven't watched the episode, I urge you, go watch the episode. It is a damn good episode of Love Island. But, and then we go to the next day and we have another chat with Janae and Connor. And this one, it definitely, there was a bit of a tone shift in a very positive way. And the thing that I wrote down specifically was that Connor was saying that he wants to be really, really intentional with who he's talking to while he's in here and making sure that like you can have lighthearted conversations and those are really, really great. But he needs to make sure that the people he is investing his time in, it's going to be worthwhile. And that's what Janae needed to hear. Yep. And Janae came out of that and jumped in confessional and said, it's so easy to talk to Connor. Like our communication is so good. And that's what I need right now. And obviously, more happens with Janae after the game, and we'll get there. But
let's get to that game because unless you got something else.
I had two other things. So I loved the Rob doing the little like steal thing in the morning with Leah just to like walk. I think it's adorable. I have to be honest. I think it's adorable.
It's adorable, but I just felt like
tell Liv.
Tell Liv. You won't have to think of
tell Liv, but it's adorable, but tell Liv. And then speaking of Liv, we got a chat with Liv and Hakeem. And she's talking about how her standards are so low, but like their conversation is flowing very, very nicely. She's liking. Yeah.
It was a really good conversation. Like,
and they both kind of walked away from it being like, okay. And Liv was even like, I didn't expect to feel Hakeem like that.
Right.
So, but yeah, so at this point, they got a text. Oh my god, they got a text. And we're playing higher or lower. Definitely not inspired by any game shows of any kind. Not when they said Card Sharks, I was like, "Oh, I grew up watching Card Sharks on Game Show Network. I love Card Sharks."
I was like, I watch Card Sharks on the original network.
Work.
I love Card Sharks.
But it's just like a series of like, how much has this woman spent on a guy? What is her body count? What does she think her partner's body count should be? I thought this whole game was dumb, superfluous, and honestly, like, I loved how many of the guys were just like, I honestly would never ask a woman this question, and I don't like this. And I'm like, this feels like the most meta season of Love Island already, because they're trying to force these like drama things. And a lot of the guys, and I especially really appreciated Rob and Cordell in this challenge specifically, at least amongst the guys, because both of them were kind of like, yeah, I don't really like, I don't care. Like,
why would
I don't care about body count. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. And then when the question is asked of Cordell about how many girls he's ghosted, it's a high number.
It was like 1,001. He was like, "But
1,001." But
he said,
the reason
why for that.
And this is where he reveals to everyone. He hadn't even told Serena yet. He was like, "Yeah, my brother is Odell Beckham Jr." So like, a lot of the times when girls start talking to me and they find out this information, all they want to do is talk about him. And I absolutely understand where that is like a complete red flag.
Oh, it's like, you're not here for me.
I also loved in this moment where Janae was like, oh yeah, no, I didn't know that he was his brother, but like, Odell's not a good tipper.
Yeah. He comes to my club.
Gold.
I was like, ooh.
Janae, I'm holding a card. I'm holding the card.
It's right here.
I'm holding it.
It's right here.
There's a couple of the girls I'm looking at right now. But Janae,
she's about to get it.
She's about to get it. She's about to get it. She's about to get it. She's
about to get it, and it's a couple of guys who might get it too. So
yes, one of them
guys being Cordell.
You know, two guys with similar names. We'll go with that.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Going back to the Cordell question, when he did say that, what happened in that moment? Hannah turned into Gold Digger Hannah. She will be one of the people he ghosted. She was like, "Oh, his brother is Odell."
You know, your comments about Hannah last episode. I'm starting to see. I still like her. I think her personality is fun as a character on this show.
There's something about her that
I'm leaning a bit more your direction now, Lana. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, "Ooh, okay." Because I wanted to see who was going to be the first to acknowledge that amongst the women.
Right.
And they even have a conversation about it afterwards. And Serena was like, that really shows me a lot that, like, that had never come up in conversation. Mind you, it was 4 days in. So, like, obviously, like, but they're spending 24 hours a day together. So, like, 4 days feels like 3 weeks to these people, apparently.
Absolutely.
But Serena was just like, I really love the fact that he kind of just didn't say anything about it. He was very humble about the whole thing. That makes me even happier. At this point, I feel like Serena and Cordell are kind of the couple to be. I got to be honest, because
so I think that
in their we didn't really talk about their earlier conversation in this episode either, which I really enjoyed, because Serena was very, very, very open with Cordell. And I was like, that's what I need to see from Serena at this point. And she was saying she's not a fast mover in relationships. She likes to keep things close to her chest. But Cordell, I find you really hot. And I like this. I want to continue this. And Cordell, if you had not told me Cordell was 21, I would not believe it.
No, because that man's like, so mature. Oh my God.
I wish I had that maturity at 21.
Right.
But he's just like, I'm good. Cool. I like where we're at. I like you. You're beautiful. I understand you keeping things a little closer to your chest. I want to help unlock those things. And I'm like, Cordell, I'm holding it. Cordell?
I'm trying to force myself not to give it to you right away. It's 4 days in. I'm trying to hold it back.
Like, I'm not going to do anything until at least a weekend, but I'm like, Cordell.
Oh
so impressed. Honestly, the two people I'm most impressed with this episode are Janae and Cordell. Like, that's it for me. Like,
it was so good. I was just like, man, that conversation, I was like, oh, so mature for a 21-year-old. I don't get it.
Wild.
I've never seen that happen before. This is very foreign to me. I'm very confused by him. He's just like an anomaly, but I love it. And like Serena is like so open and honest. Like, hey, look, I don't move fast. Sometimes it's hard for me to just open up and trust people. It's a give and take. It's a push and pull type of deal. And Cordell was like, I'm gonna be there with you. I want to unlock all those things, and we can go with our pace. We don't have to go at nobody else's pace. We don't have to fall in love because we think other people are falling in love around us. And we'll go at all. I love that so much. I was like, this, and I agree with you. I said they might be the couple that we thought Janae and Coy was going to be.
I think they are. I see them having like a little bit of rocky stuff. Like, I see maybe Casa being the point where they get a little rocky.
Mm-hmm.
But I like where they're at. But
I'm going to enjoy their journey. Regardless.
I'm going to enjoy it for sure. Now, the part I got pissed off about was the moment that we find out Janae's body count.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it was. And Coy's just like, oh, she's a liar. She's a liar. And then we pop up at the damn end with his damn body count. And guess what? He also lied.
Because he's told her it was 100. Maybe a little lower. And it was 150. I was like, why are we making snide comments when we know we lied? Why? It was, I mean, this is my problem with this game in general.
Yeah.
Because I felt the questions themselves were rude. The questions were rude. And it was dumb. And like, how come they didn't ask the guys how much money they spent on the girl? Like,
right.
Why did they ask?
And then the guys are getting asked like how many people they've ghosted. Like, I'm curious whether there were more questions and whether they got cut. Like, because it felt very strange for it to only be 3 questions.
Right. I felt like it was probably more, but I was just like, oh, but then they were like, oh my God. The funniest one was Hannah was like $20. And I was like,
some gas station snacks.
I was like,
what did I wrote down? Leah spent $1,000 on a Louis Vuitton holder for a guy's blunts.
I was like, girl,
you really got to carry your blunts in style.
And Louis Vuitton, baby, you could what? I don't know about blunts.
Baby, I've got mine currently sitting in my bedroom, in the lid of a candle that I used. Like, that's what I have them in right now.
Like, what do you
like? Hello.
I was like, wow, a Louis Vuitton blunt holder?
Right.
Maybe this, look.
I would maybe buy that for myself, but not for somebody else.
Not for somebody else, because are you with this man anymore? No, obviously not, since you're on Love Island. Yeah. So now he got $1,000 blunt case holder, and y'all ain't even together no more. Like,
and the other part of the challenge that I wrote down is I just love And I can tell that he's not now, which I'm happy we got more from Hakeem. But Hakeem was like, damn, these girls really think I'm an F-boy.
Absolutely. He was like, that's not who I am.
That's not me. And I'm like, yeah, we all found out who the real F-boy this episode was. Coy.
I won't say he was the F-boy. I just think he has a bad problem with communication. He doesn't know how to communicate, and he doesn't know how to open up, which is a lot of men's problems, and which is a lot of Black men's problems, because they are not taught to be open and communicate with their partner. They the man, they supposed to just be the man, and they don't know how to communicate and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling you, girl. I want to be, we just supposed to know that. We're just supposed to know that. And that is the problem with dating in these dating times, because people are taught to you're just supposed to know how I feel. I'm showing you how I feel.
I'm not telepathic. I can't.
No, I need reassurance. I need you to tell me, especially in a situation like Love Island where it's other men around to tempt you. That is the whole purpose of Love Island. And if it's another dude who is here, who is number one's fine, you fine, he fine. Y'all equal on that.
Yep.
He communicates, and I have to always initiate the conversation with you. Is the problem? I don't want to be the one to have to pull you for chats. I don't want to have to always be the one to be like, hey, you want to talk? Hey, you want to talk? Hey, you want? Because guess what that makes me feel? Needy, clingy. I have to be the one to.
And then what really put the nail in the coffin for me is I don't know if you had anything else from the game, Lana. I didn't have anything else personally.
No.
After the game. So I have a lot after the game. So the ladies and the guys kind of separate a little bit. Janae is like, I'm so confused right now.
Yeah.
So she pulls Coy for a chat, and she's trying to communicate as best as she can with this man. And not only does he interrupt her and be like, oh, but your conversations with Connor were better. And then continue to interrupt and talk over her. And I was just like, nah, no. Janae, please, Janae. Janae. Please, Janae.
He was so defensive. And I think that's that's how he guards himself from getting hurt, is to become defensive. And I'm like, he's obviously hurt that she talked to Connor and that the conversation with Connor was good. And he's obviously hurt. I mean, his whole mannerisms, the way he was talking, the way he was acting.
Shut down.
He shut down. He was obviously hurt. But instead of saying, hey, I kind of got in my feelings a little bit about you having a conversation with Connor, because I thought we were locked, closer to getting to this point of, and even if he's it's stupid, I understand how stupid that sounds, because we're on Love Island, and it's bad to think that after 3 days or 4 days we locked in or something like that. That's crazy. But in my heart of hearts, I felt very close to you, and I didn't know how to express that. Literally just say that. If he would have just said that, she would have been putty in his hands. She would have never thought about Connor again. She would have been like, you know what? It was an attraction to this person from the beginning. I understand that he needs, he's like an onion, and layers need to be pulled back slowly, and I'm willing to work with that. But he didn't even give her anything to work with. He was so defensive. Nothing. He was so nope. I mean, your conversation with Connor was better, but you liked him better. And she's like, I don't like him better. I want to like you, but you won't let me do that. Yeah. And it's just, it was so frustrating. And I was like, as much as I like Coy and Janae, I was like, Janae, girl.
Janae needs to get out of there.
I said, you need to do what's best for you. And in that moment, I was like, I hope she picked Connor. I really do. I hope she picks Connor, because I feel like in that moment, Coy was just not giving her that. And it was going to turn into resentment. Even if she picked him and tried to make it work later on down the road, I don't think it would have been, he would have turned his head the next time somebody came in looking at him.
And then even during their chat right before the recoupling, it's kind of the same shit again, where she's just like, I'm always the one initiating the conversation. I want to have good communication. And he is giving her nothing.
Nothing. I was just like, girl, oh, I hate it because I really liked y'all together. And I'm all about black love. Y'all know that. I'm all about black love. I'm like, this is beautiful. We can make it work. Do it. But I was like, girl,
this is not
about black love. This is about your own self-worth and what you need out of a relationship. And what you need out of a relationship is somebody who is going to want you. Yep. He has to show he wants you, just like he wanted her to show him that she wanted him, and she did that several times. She picked you first, Coy. She wants you. She comes and has conversations with you. She wants you. She initiates all the conversations. She wants you, and you give her nothing. You give her dust, and she is like, I am out of patience with this man. And I got it. I was like, girl, do what you got to do, girl. Yeah. Do what you got to do. Boy, do they do what they got to do.
We got to talk about the other big thing before we get to the recoupling. Mm-hmm. And that's Liv and Kaylor sneaking up on Leah and Rob at the dock.
And it really wasn't a sneak up. They were just going outside to take a selfie on the balcony. They're like, let's take a selfie on the balcony. Like, yeah, the two blondes looking so cute. They make up.
Definitely producers, absolutely did not tell Liv and Kaylor to go take a selfie on the balcony at all. No, not at all.
No, why would they do that? But they go take the picture and they're like, what the? They look and see Rob and Leah in one of their sneak-off moments, they sneaky link moments. And they just
very, very cute, very lovely, very wonderful. Tell Liv.
And they going off and then they kissing and making out. Liv was like, oh, okay.
Well, Julie.
Well, and I was like, ooh, get him, Liv. Get him, Liv. Yeah. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, ooh, Hakeem's safe.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, no, Hakeem's staying. That was the moment for me that I was like, ooh, Coy's going home.
I was like, he's going home.
He is going home.
I said, Hakeem's safe, and Connor is going to get picked. Because I was like, is she going to do it? And for a moment, for a second, well, we'll get that. But I was like, Hakeem is safe because Liv is going to pick Hakeem because of that conversation they just had earlier.
Yep.
And it was
because who else does she have?
Nobody.
Not Coy.
Connor didn't talk to her. And she's not going to talk to Coy.
She didn't talk to Kendall. And Aaron is clearly locked in with
Kaylor.
With Kaylor. So
it was like, okay. I was like, okay, well, Hakeem is safe. Because she's definitely not picking Rob again. That's crazy. And she could have. Because she could have picked. Because she picked first. She could have just to mess with him.
Yep.
But that will ruin her experience.
Yeah.
But baby, I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I hope they get him. I hope she get him.
Let's
get to the
couples. Let's talk about the recoupling, Lana.
Mm-hmm. So recoupling happened, and Serena is first. And of course she sticks with Cordell, which I was like,
this was the obvious one.
Obvious and easy. I was like, this is obvious. It was two that was very obvious from the very get-go. This one was obvious. I was like, she's not going to go away from Cordell. He jumped up leaps and bounds in her eyes, and as well as everybody else's eyes in this episode. Like, this was a good episode for Cordell.
Very good episode for Cordell.
He just, I think he solidified and made her feel like very comfortable with him and very safe with him. So this was good. So our next one was Kayla, which another very obviously what was
I
going
was
to
gonna say
happen.
this was the other very, very obvious one for me as well. I was like, Kayla's picking Aaron. Great. Love
Absolutely,
it.
very obvious. She was not looking at anybody else, and she made it very
No.
clear, even to Connor, who was very much into her, and she was like, I really don't. As mature as Connor is, and I probably need that maturity. He doesn't make me giddy. Aaron makes me giddy, and that's something that is very. Oh, I get it because a man needs to make me
Definitely.
feel and have the butterflies in my tummy and be like, this is. I don't want to be. Oh, this is very convenient and nice, and I'm sure we'll probably get along and have a good life. But if he doesn't make me laugh and make me feel like I have butterflies when I see him, then it's not gonna work. But this was
Yep.
obvious. What you said earlier. I hope this gives Aaron the reassurance that he needs
I hope
because
so.
this is the second time Kaylor has picked
Has
him.
picked Aaron. Yep.
She has picked you. She is not going around just, and she's very open and honest with him. Like she told him everything that happened in that conversation with Connor. She told him that he kissed
Yep.
her, which he did, and she didn't have to tell him that. And
No.
she was like, and he kissed me, and it just didn't feel like your kiss. Like she has let him know, and he still was like, I don't know. I mean, I can go about. I hope this reassures him that she actually does like him.
I really, really hope because I do like the two of them together.
Mhm. Now, the next
So
one wasn't so obvious because we had a moment of 50-50.
good old 50-50.
50.
But the 50 landed on Kendall.
It landed on Kendall. Okay, side note. I need somebody to show her how to do her makeup because she has no idea what she's doing.
Yeah.
That was the worst makeup I've ever like. She didn't blend it in. Oh my! She looked like a clown about the mouth and the chin.
Where is she from again?
North Carolina.
Okay, because I was about to say, I don't because there is something that happens with some of these women on Love Island where because of the humidity of Fiji, they're not like their makeup turns out different. Like I remember seeing that from previous seasons. I don't know whether that is her case or what. Like I was also a little confused. I was like, this makeup is not good, baby. Like I don't know what you're. I don't know what you're doing.
I was like, I don't, girl. Okay, mm-mm, don't like it. But yeah, I was very confused. But yeah, she picks
Yeah.
Kendall, and yeah, she picks Kendall because that's what she wanted to be with. And I was like, okay, good.
Yep.
Our next couple, though, did a whole complete change. We
Yep.
have a very brand new couple, our first new couple
Yep.
of the season again of this episode. It's Liv and Hakeem.
Yep.
Um, Liv was like, definitely not gonna pick Rob because Rob was seen making out with Leah right before the recoupling, and she was like, nah, no thank you. And so she picks Hakeem, who she had a great conversation with, and I was very happy for them. And I think this is a good couple. I think they can grow into something really good if they try.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know if
going to
this
be
is
the drama couple and not between themselves, but
nope.
between everybody else
I think they go
because
cause the pain, baby, and I'm here for it.
Liv, because I honestly, I am here for it too because Liv calls out Rob for
Yep.
not, cool, go make out with Leah, have your cute moments, tell Liv. Well, you didn't need to. Liv told you. And then Hakeem throws a little bit of fire in as well, talking about, well, Hannah, you said you were so 50-50 and 50-50s, but like 50-50 is not the clear scenario that we're in. And this is where, like, Hannah's trying to explain herself, and she's saying that, like, I was upfront with you from the beginning, and I was honest saying that Kendall was my number one, but I was open to options. And Hakeem was like, no, that's not the case. That is the case. That is what she told Hakeem. At least from what I remember. However, I needed her to stop being so 50-50 because neither of them look great coming out of this scenario right now because Hannah just needed to Hannah needed to be a little bit more upfront with her feelings. And like, it's not 50-50. Clearly, you chose Kendall. It's not 50-50 anymore.
And that's what I
So
it's zero now. It's not 50-50, it's zero now.
yeah.
I was like, ooh. But it was like he was just, and I think his whole, I don't think he called her a liar for not saying her priorities for Kendall. I don't think that's what he meant when he said she was a liar.
Okay.
I think he meant she was saying she was a liar when she was like, but I told you that I was feeling him more than you. Like, she never said that because she kept saying it was 50-50. It's 50-50. Yeah. It's 50-50. So at 50-50, you're not feeling somebody more or less. You're just like, it's 50-50. I can go either way.
But wait,
obviously,
is it 50-50?
It's 50-50. And 50-50 means 50-50 because it's 50-50.
Because when 50-50s...
50-50s. Just saying. But 50-50 in this moment. 50-50. And so he was like, you ain't, and like even up until right before the recoupling, he was asking her. And she was like, it's 50-50. Baby, you knew it wasn't 50-50 right before the recoupling. You knew that, but you didn't say that.
So, I don't think she was even the one that was 50-50 before the recoupling. I think Janae was the one that was more 50-50.
Absolutely more 50-50. And she was not. I think he was like 70-40, 80-50, like 80-60, like whatever. But you were definitely not 50-50. You were definitely not 50-50. No. You were 70-40.
No.
You know. But so then we get to Janae, Leah.
Nope. No, Leah. We got a couple more.
I forgot about them. Leah obviously picks Rob because they've been sneaking off. They've been doing their thing. They want to be together. I love that they're together. I hope they be together. I just wanted him to be honest with his feelings. That's my whole thing. I felt like Rob fumbled the bag these first 2 episodes, these first 3 episodes. Like, he fumbled the bag. Like, he could have been really way more honest with both of them instead of being honest with Leah, but not with Liv. Like, he wasn't honest with Liv.
Yeah, I think the difficulty with the Rob, Leah, and Liv situation is like it was abundantly clear from the moment that Liv stole Rob that Rob was not into it. And I think Rob took his subtlety in the conversations that he had with Leah as, oh, I told Leah I'm not interested. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he explicitly said, I'm feeling Leah more. I needed him to do that.
Yep.
But with that being said, I think this is a couple that could be locked in for a long time. And I really like this. I really like this couple.
I like them, but I find them annoying.
Valid.
A little bit. I feel like they can change my mind. I really do like them together. I think they're cute. But I feel like she's so, and he's so.
But I also think they're both locked in with each other's emotions in an interesting way. Like absolutely. They match each other in a very nice way. He is doing whatever he's clearly smitten, and he is doing everything in his power to lock it in and to reassure her that, like, hey, no, this is what I'm valuing right now.
Right.
So, yeah. Now we get Janae.
So Janae gets up, and the last 2 people left are Connor and Coy.
Because of course.
So
remember when I said last episode that the first person to pick their couple this episode was going to be Janae?
Yeah, no. We put our clown makeup on halfway through this
makeup,
episode.
Clown mask, all of it. But
so Janae gets up and she's like giving her thing, and for a moment I was like, she could still pick Coy because she was like,
given her speech where she was like, I want to continue to work on our relationship. I was like, she's really gonna pick Coy.
I was like, she's picking Coy.
Wow,
because she wants to make it work. I think she felt a stronger connection that she wants to make work, and I was like, oh.
I honestly think she gave that part of her speech, was still gonna pick Coy, had a second thought, and that's why she stopped for a second, and then she picked Connor.
And you know what? I was like, in that conversation, while she was doing her speech, I was like, pick Connor.
Truly, I was like, please pick Connor.
And it wasn't even a begging for like, please, please pick Connor because I wanted her just with Connor. I was like, pick Connor because you need that. Because Coy
Yeah.
is going to resent you later if you don't. It's not going to be. She would end up on being dumped next week because somebody will come in and turn
100%.
Coy's head because
100%.
he was already in a place of she ain't checking
Yeah.
for me. And so
Yeah.
I was like, pick Connor for yourself. Pick Connor because he was genuinely excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
Pick Connor because the conversations that y'all had was more than the conversations you had with Coy. Coy is a
Yeah.
lovely person. Coy is a beautiful, beautiful man. I was sad to see that I had to root against Coy and to see Coy go because that is
Yeah.
a gorgeous specimen of a man.
Big
But
feet, big meat.
but he wasn't he like you said, he got comfortable
And
and
he
he
got lazy.
wasn't and he got lazy and he wasn't doing what needed to be done to reassure this woman that he wanted to be with her and he wanted to stay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Coy had to go, and I'm sad because
Yeah.
Coy is fine. But I
I
am
think
very
I've
excited about
I'm like,
Janae
who's
and Connor.
more I am too. I was gonna say who's more upset about Coy leaving, you or Cordell?
Cordell.
Cordell was
He was
distraught. I felt so
devastated.
bad for Cordell.
He was like my big bro up in here, and I get it. Like you get in a situation where you don't know people, you're trying to meet people, you finally somebody y'all can just chill with and cook with, and
Yeah.
it's fun. And then they're gone in the first 4 days. It's like, oh,
Right.
dang,
I
oh,
never would have expected to see Coy the first person dumped. Not
no,
at all.
not at all.
But I think that I just think that's the season of Love Island that we're gearing up for, Lana. Is I think we're
Mhm.
just I think we're gearing up for a very dramatic and unexpected kind of season.
Mhm.
So
I definitely think it's very dramatic and unexpected. It's going to be interesting and
yeah.
but on the flip side, I'm very excited for Janae and Connor because I feel
Yes.
like they could be very, very cute. They
Yeah.
could be very, very cute.
I hope
And
Janae gets the sparks from Connor that Kaylor was unable to get. That's
yeah,
what I'm hoping for. So
absolutely. But it's interesting. And so I'm excited. And then the previews. That
oh Lord.
I can't wait till tonight to go watch it later on.
Liv and Hakeem versus everybody that crossed them. Like that's really what it is. Like
I mean, and here's my thing. I'm like, I need these women to stop using their victimizing their tears because Hannah, what you crying for? You said what you said. He said what he
yeah.
said, and you was big and bad when you were saying it, and now you want to be like, I can't believe it to me. I'm over this. I'm over. Like, girl, stop. Man up, woman up, and say, hey, yeah, I did say 50-50. That's how I felt. And then stand on business. Stand on business. Stand 10 toes down on what you said and just do it. Like, and if you don't believe me, it is what it is. I'm not gonna argue back and forth with you. I said what I said.
Right.
You feel how you feel. Keep it pushing. But then Liv talks to Rob, and she like, don't do that. That's all we get is no, don't do that. Don't do that. And she walk away. I'm like, what did he do? What? Because she's like, you've been playing me this whole time, which he has. Let's be honest. He goes, all you have to do was tell Liv. That was my mantra this whole episode. Tell Liv. Just tell Liv. It's not that hard to say, I'm not interested. I'm really liking this girl. I really just want to talk to this girl. It's not that hard. She would have been like, I respect that. We keep it pushing, we keep it moving. But no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. You didn't do that. You just let her you just got caught. So she's like, all right, fine, sure. Which I feel like even I hope it doesn't because it's really not necessary to do it. But I think it might bring up some resentment between Liv and Leah
Yeah.
because even though I don't think it should, because Leah didn't owe Liv anything. I don't owe you nothing. You took him from me, so I took him back. It's like I don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited to see what happens next.
And from the first look, I just looked at the first look on Instagram because they just dropped it a little bit before we started filming. The big takeaway I'm having from this is Kendall is now
Questioning
a little
Hannah.
bit iffy on Miss Hannah because
he's
saying 50-50 is not what she was telling him.
That's not what she was telling him.
So, yeah. I am.
It's gonna bite her in the butt. I told her that 50-50 is gonna bite her in her butt. She needs to stop saying that.
We chose the right season to come back and watch this because this is all. We are going to be 4 episodes in, and this season is already serving.
I mean, thanks to Love Island Games to get me back into the Love Island sphere.
Right.
Because I was like pretty much done with Love Island, period. After a while, I was like, okay, after the Cash Shake season and Cinco season, I was like, okay, I don't really need to watch more. But Love Island Games happened. Y'all brought me back into the sphere. And now this season is serving what I needed to serve. So work, Love Island, work.
There's nothing worse than a stale Love Island season.
Oh, God, no.
You know what is worse than a stale Love Island season, though, Lana?
What's that?
People watching this video and not subscribing.
That is so stale. That is so lame, honestly. If you're watching, and I know you're watching, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you. We appreciate you doing that, and hit the notification bell because, like I said, we're doing Love Island every time they drop a video. We drop a video, so we'll be back tomorrow to discuss Love Island episode 4. In some capacity, Logan might be here. I might be here. We both might be here. We'll figure it out. But we're going to talk about Love Island and the rest of the things that we talk about. So hit the subscribe button here. Hit the subscribe button on all 3 of our channels. All those links will be in our description below. Also, our audio links are down there as well. So you can go and click those links and follow us on our audio platforms. You can join our membership channels to get exclusive content and early access content across all 4 of our channels in that membership channels on here or on Patreon. So either way you want to do it. And you could also follow us on our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok because we put up some really good things over there as well. And you can also get your merch here at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be on the description below, the cup mug or any of our cup merch. And all of those things. Come back tomorrow and talk about Love Island with us. We appreciate you. Leave all your comments in below and let us know what you think. And we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. That was better.
That was better than yesterday. Yeah.
That was better than yesterday's. Yeah, I'll take that.
Good job. I'll take it.
Thank you.